Hello, everyone. Today is Wednesday, September 12th, and it is about 8:30 East Coast time here in the States. And I want to call your attention to something that I just saw float across the email yesterday, and I think is a timely, opportune way to put your GIS skills to use. So I hope that you will help participate in this. It's called the 2018 Hurricanes Crowdsourced Photos Story Map, and it is being led by folks from both NAPSG Foundation and GIS Corps. And it is a crowdsourced activity to ask for your help in finding valuable information reported via Twitter, Flickr, Instagram, news sources, et cetera, that can be used by folks responding to the emergency on the ground to understand sort of a wide variety of issues that will be affecting folks shortly in the Carolinas. So again, if you want to participate in this is all in the show notes. And we're going to very, very quickly walk through what participation looks like so you can get an idea. Again, if I click on the story map here, what we're seeing on the left is obviously a map of the United States and the current hurricane track. And then you'll notice as we zoom in here, right now we're seeing about 30 some odd reports from folks, which as we zoom in, updates here on the left. We're not seeing a whole lot of damage, some sunsets and some live webcams and some other things so far, but the idea here is that as damage reports start coming in, that when we click on one of these photos that we'll get some actionable information about something happening on the ground. Participation is pretty easy. There's a very nice document that kind of walks you through all the details here. They're asking for a few things. First, that if you are volunteering to please go ahead and register through this form. Don't worry though, the form is super easy to fill out. It's just asking for your email address and your name. And next, they've got some other information here on how to participate if you're actually in the area that's going to be affected, as well as for remote participation, and that'd be for folks like myself. They have a few things that they're asking you to do. First, of course, go to the story map link, which I'm going to walk you through. There's this really excellent old training video that walks through a better example than the one that I'm going to show from last year's response. So if you have about 10 minutes, I encourage you to watch that as well, and that's also in the show notes. And then it's got some instructions here. So things that they're asking for are relevant, timely images on websites or social media and information that can be tied to a particular location. So again, they're not looking for damage reports that can't be responded to or create valuable information for them. What they're really looking for is damage reports that can be tied to a particular location. And that's what's noted here in these 4 bullets. If you do find something on social media, so for example, you find a reported damage to let's say a senior citizen home, and it's reporting cross streets or an address or something like that, or the name, then those are things that you can locate on a map, and they're asking you to do that through the application. The last thing here, and again, I'm skimming over some of this, but on your own, please read through it, and please respect things like their own naming conventions and so on and so forth. That'll help them find that information quicker and be able to respond to it more rapidly. The last thing, though, that I want to note here is that they're really only looking for images that everyone can use. So if it's a private image, if you don't have permission to upload it, or if it's including personally identifiable information or images of bodily harm, that kind of stuff, you definitely want to skip out on that. So let's go ahead and go back to the tool, and very briefly I'll walk you through what it looks like in order to, let's say you found something and you want to add it to the map. It's as simple as clicking on this add a photo. I'm going to go ahead and sign in. I'm going to go ahead and sign in with ArcGIS, but you have a few other options here if you don't have an ArcGIS account. Adding a photo is fairly easy. It's just a matter of either dragging and dropping into this window, or you can select it from your computer. And I'm going to add this one. This is a NOAA buoy that was reported via Twitter. And the National Weather Service was basically reporting that with this particular buoy, they were already observing wave heights of over 20 feet. So again, I'm not going to post that, but I just kind of, again, want to walk through the workflow. This is an example where I don't have a particular address, but I've got some indication that there obviously is something that I could probably find on the web. So what I did was a quick Google search for station 41002. That took me to this page. I see here that I've got some degrees, minutes, and seconds. I got longitude and latitude information, so I can simply cut and paste that into the app. So let me get back here. Now you'll have to watch if you find data like this, and I doubt, I think most folks will find street address level information, but if you do find information like this, just make sure that it is taking you to the right location. In this case, it looks like, where did it take me? It might have taken me, if I zoom out here, yeah, it's not Antarctica. So let me click on this guy. There we go. That looks correct. Looks like the right location. And now I can zoom in a bit, make sure that's where I should be. And then I could add a quick description and title, and then I would just simply click accept terms and submit. Again, before, when adding the title and description, just make sure to double check and make sure that you are following the naming convention details as spelled out here. So for example, for the description, they're asking that you start with the date and time stamp and then a brief description. And I believe that's just partially to give them an idea of how current the information is as they begin to browse through all these photos coming in. If you want to learn more about the groups behind this app, you can certainly visit their websites. The NAPSG Foundation website is simply napsgfoundation.org. And GIS Core is where you can track all sorts of interesting projects like this to participate in. So if you're not already a volunteer, I highly encourage you to go ahead and get signed up, and that's just at giscore.org. I'm going to stop there. I hope to see some of your photos and video links and other things come in. I know that the folks responding on the ground could certainly use the information, and we appreciate all this kind of help that is available for projects like this that come through crowdsourced information. So that's it. Thanks, everyone.